Fouseytube, one of the biggest L's and one of the biggest W's. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's take a look at his past. When he was one of the biggest YouTubers, one of the biggest pranksters out there, that was the longest time he's ever taken a W because he ran YouTube for a very long time. But then he got into his addictions and Vitaly exposed him. And then he went back to his mental state. A lot of people let him slide because of his mental issues, which I think is fucked. You pull out the mental health card and you get saved, but we'll get on that a little bit later in the video. And now he took a break off YouTube. He came back in a more motivational way. Now he also put on this big event, supposedly big event, where Drake was supposed to be in there. And now he lied to all of his fans that he met Drake. I don't think that he ever met Drake. I think he was just lying. The whole story was a lie. He was never supposed to pull up. Drake's manager actually confirmed this. He was never supposed to pull up to the event. The event was just full with a bunch of YouTubers and a bunch of SoundCloud rappers that just performed crap. Okay, so what happened after? He took another long break. Suppose that he need help with his mental health issues. Okay, whatever. Let me remind you, he always comes back in a different shape. What do I mean by this? His physical shape always changes. It's either he's very fat or he's very in shape. Now he comes back and he fights Slim. Now, I don't know if this guy has any talent, this guy Fousey, but he was trash at boxing. Absolutely trash. Got dominated by Slim, almost half of his weight, almost half of his size, and he got dogged by him. Okay? And then he took another break. And then he came back to boxing and he fought Deji, in which he got slapped up again. But now this time, he was in very good shape. Six pack, lean, lot of muscle. But he took another big L. And what did he do? We didn't see him for another couple years. And now he comes back on Twitch. He starts streaming his whole life 24/7. And now again, whenever he takes a big W like this, he doesn't take it for a very long time. He only reigns and he only gets that victory for a month and it goes away. His ego finds a way to get in the way. And so what does he do? Well, recently he was streaming, he's always screaming. I've never seen a clip of him where he's not screaming or throwing a tantrum. He's either throwing a tantrum with his mental health issues or his ego gets in the way. What are you doing? I'm about to get you fired. You're my cameraman and you're pointing to the ground. Like, absolutely embarrassing. I don't know what this guy needs. He obviously doesn't need a therapist because he goes to therapy and it's not working. That's why I tell you guys, therapy is a scam. And if you don't believe me, Fouseytube is a great example of that. Anyway, this guy comes back on Twitch, and just in the first couple of months of him growing big, he was doing pretty decent. He comes back and he was supposedly catching a flight somewhere, and he stops at the bar and he sits next to a woman under the influence. I guess she was drunk, and he knew this. And guess what? He asked for a kiss. Okay, not a big deal, whatever. But then she goes on and tells him that she's been a victim of human trafficking. And then he kind of manipulates her and says, I had an addiction to these workers and I feel very bad for you. And he actually gave her $300. Okay, cool, whatever, not a big deal. But again, she was under the influence. And guess what Fousey2 does? After giving her $300, after saying, oh yeah, I have sympathy for you and for those type of workers, guess what he does? He goes in the bathroom and he becomes part of the problem. He goes in the bathroom and then he comes back and says, I just joined the Mile High Club. Like, she just told you that she was a victim, and then you think it's okay to join it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why did you think that was a good idea? And then he didn't think anything of it because he was smiling. And then he looks at the comments on his Twitch chat, and then he feels bad, and then he throws a whole tantrum. He starts crying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, you could pull out the race card, or you're gonna pull out the mental health card. Any of them work. Because now he says, oh yes, my mental health problems, I don't know what's going on, I have bipolar issues, don't judge me. And then he tries to deny this allegation that he didn't have sex with her in the goddamn bathroom. But then he called up Keemstar saying that he smashed a woman in the bathroom. What are you saying? There's so much evidence that you did this, and now he tries to back it off after he sees that he gets hate from it. So you see where I'm going with this? He takes a big W on Twitch, and then he takes a big L by his ego getting in the way. And then he pulls out the mental health issue card every single time. Now, who do I think he's trying to be like? He's trying to be like Kanye West, throw a whole tantrum, do something crazy. But the thing about Fousey is that he doesn't have talent like Kanye West. You can't drop an album and be fired and then everybody forgives you. You're not Kanye West. Okay, you have no talent. Actually, scratch that. He has talent. He could be a clown at a circus. That's the best thing he could do. Because we don't laugh with you, Fousey. We laugh at you. There's a difference. You're the clown that we laugh at. You're not clowning anybody else but yourself in these streams.
Another thing that I don't like seeing about Fousey is that he likes to provoke negativity. He wants to be seen as this nice guy. Oh, look, I'm the next Drake. I like helping people. I like putting out a positive message. But if you watch his streams, he does the opposite of that. He likes to provoke problems. He likes to cause problems. Let's see, when he has that speaker and he's at a restaurant like In and Out, or when he's at the airport, he purposely has that speaker knowing that his chat is going to donate something with a funny sound or a sound that could get him kicked out. But he purposely does this because it's great content. I can't blame him. It is great content. But at the same time, you can't pretend that, oh, look, I'm this nice guy. But then at the same time, you're doing this on purpose so people will be like, oh my God, look at this person. Like, he likes to cause a scene. Not only does he does it with the speaker, but with his words. He likes to provoke things by saying outrageous things, like saying Allah Akbar. So then people will be like, oh my God, he's about to blow up this place, and everybody starts running out the restaurant. Like, all he wants to do is cause a scene for his Twitch account. Which, like I said, is good content, but at the same time, then that's not who you are. Then you can't say, look, I'm this person. I'm a good person. You can't blame me when I do the bad things. It's because of my mental health issues. That's what I hate about social media, and that's what I hate about this world, is that you could get away with anything as long as you say, oh, I need help, I need a therapist. Then people be like, you know what? Prescribe him my therapist. What he did at that time, that wasn't him. It was his mind taking over. At that point, then I could do whatever the hell I want. I could throw a tantrum, touch somebody in the way that I wasn't supposed to touch him. And all I could say, oh, I'm crazy, I need help, this and this and that. And they'll be like, you know what? We need to help this poor person. Just think about how crazy it is that you could get away with anything as long as you start to put yourself as the victim. I could be the most horrible person, but once I start playing the victim, that's when everybody starts saying, you know what? Let's influence him. Let's try to help him. A good example of this is Chris from Mr. Beast. He was so close to getting canceled because he was saying the N word and he was saying things that he wasn't supposed to say. And then what ended up happening? He became trans. He wants to be like a woman. And look what happened. Everybody's clapping him up. Everybody's supporting him, trying to give him an influence. You know what? Look at this great guy. Yeah, he has a family, but look, let him be what he wants to be. And nobody really wants to bring his name up, because when they do bring his name up, then they could get in trouble for it, for trying to hate on what he wants to become. Just think about it. Isn't that crazy? That, like I said, you could be the most horrible person, like Chris from Mr. Beast. You could be the most horrible person, say the N word, say the things that you're not supposed to say. But then you pull out the race card, the gender card, or the you need help card, and everything is okay. You could fix your problems that easily. It's just crazy. So at the end of the day, we shouldn't be watching Fouseytube. To be honest, I think it's better if Fouseytube just takes a break off social media and just disappears from social media. Because once this Twitch stuff is over with, he's gonna leave, take a big break, and he's gonna come back to try something new. He's gonna ruin that, put more negativity out there, and then claim as the good guy, and then feel bad for him. And he's gonna continue to do this all over again. So, like I'm saying, it's better to just leave him alone. Don't give him any attention. Stop clipping the streams, trying to make him go viral, trying to give him the attention. Forget the good content and just realize that it's not good for the world, and people like him should not be on social media.